Hi, my name is Philip Pandy. This is for Itl670. We are talking about the social emotional aspect for week one. So, for my reference, I ended up using the website for Positive Action. Positive Action actually gives you a breakdown of things you can expect, even affordable kits that would suit about 30 people, 30 students. In that kit, it is actually designed to help your students, and teachers and parents, that would include positive focuses on the aspects of a person's being, including the physical, intellectual, social, and emotional. And this is by integrating the more comprehensive models of social emotional learning, while each lesson is strong on its own, but will work together with holding social emotional skills over time. I am going into middle school, so for me, when it comes to me, it'll be based on the spectrum of the students, where I would still be reinforcing things that they would learn in the primary K through 6 grades. So social emotional not only never ends, it's a continuous learning pattern. So by the time that they get to me, I am just reinstilling what they've already learned, and I'm keeping consistent, which is the best practice that we can have. So we talk about physical, intellectual, social, and emotional learning through the positive actions. So remember, physical, depending on the child, you can go to including the high fives, patting, praising, depending on their level of communication with each other. So as a teacher, I can praise my student, give them a physical reward for whatever time spent that we had based on our mini goals, i.e. say, hey, I'll use the name Philip. Hey Philip, just remember, okay, we're gonna go ahead and sit down for 5 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and go over some information for the class, and we're gonna go through that. And that child can go ahead and he can stand, he can sit, he can stay in his area, but the main focus is at that point in time he's working for his goal. And whether that be a high five at the end of the 5 minutes, like great job Philip at listening or staying in your seat, or keeping your hands to yourself, that's great. We then have our intellectual part where we continue and we do need to work on, and I combine it together where we talk about intellectual, social, and emotional. The reason I combine those three, even though it's separate for this unit, is simply the fact that the student is working with parents, teachers, and as well as other students. So because of that, we have to look on how they interact with the student that's just next to them. So if I have, Philip paired up with Tommy, then at that point in time, I'll assume this would be a learning experience for Tommy as well, where we learn the difference between keeping in the lines, keeping outside the lines, what's mine is what's yours, where you may end up working on Tommy also learning about his social emotional rants and raves based on what someone else is doing. Social emotional learning isn't just for a certain type of people. It's actually, it's great for all students, because as we become adults, we are prone to our own feelings and our own emotions, and sometimes we are not in tune with that. Present term, the Karens, with people in doing customer service, they are, I look at it as more of a social outburst, because not that they're not getting their way, they don't understand that feeling that's inside, and so once they get it out, they get it out, unfortunately. So with the social emotional learning with our students, by the time they get to middle school science, our goal is to make sure that, hey, me as a teacher, as I look at their IEP, we'll make sure that I understand that, hey, if they're fidgety, great, put them on the end, so then that way they can stand at the edge of their desk, or figure out if I put them towards the back or towards the middle, a place where they're less distracting for the other people. That keeps them on a positive roll. Make sure that who we pair them with, they are people that are also well balanced from what we can see, and are also able to or familiar with their own inner emotions. I hope that this information helped you out. I hope the website will give you some tools for your own class that you're either teaching in or assisting in. And at the end of the day, hopefully we'll learn a little bit more as this goes on. Thanks for your time. Have a good day.